Campaigners have been given the green light to continue their legal fight against closing Mill Road Bridge in Cambridge. County Council plans to shut it to most through traffic to improve air quality and reduce congestion are currently on hold because of this legal challenge. Opponents to the plans want the bridge to stay open for public access, and a judge has now ruled that their case can carry on. Arguments over the pros and cons of closing the bridge have provoked some strong opinions, as BBC Radio Cambridge's Dave Webster has found on Mill Road.
Absolutely, with the bridge closed to most traffic, and it's important to say that's not all traffic. That is only the vast majority of traffic which goes over passing through Mill Road, not actually staying here. We want a Mill Road that's much more livable, has lower pollution, that is better for bikes, particularly people with young children or with cargo bikes. I think that will just be much better and safer for everybody.
Are you a motorist as well?
I'm not, no.
As long as you've got public transport, people might not like it sometimes, because I do understand people that work in trades and they feel they need to get over. But at the same time, we do need to think about the environment. So I think as long as there's a way of people getting over here, be it public transport, then it's fine.
It can be a bit of an issue when you have buses going over it as well.
Absolutely, definitely better open to private cars. This side of the bridge is already quite disconnected from the city, so to cut it off, I think would do the residents a disservice.
Because usually I cycle to here, so it's a busy time. I can see a lot of cars commute to the town. It's better closed for the private, but probably it's not good for the shops, for people who has business on this Mill Road Street.
I'm on the team closed. I just thought it was great for pedestrians and great for the bikes, and it's not really wide enough for cars and bikes and everybody, so I think with the way things are moving these days, I'd probably err on the side of in favour of bikes.
Are you a motorist?
Yes, so I do see it from the sort of Mill Road residents and businesses' point of view.
Ditto. I agree. Yeah, we live in the center of town and absolutely agree that any spaces throughout Cambridge that we can make people mobility preferred would be awesome.
Dave Webster reporting there. We'll be hearing from groups on both sides of the divide, or the bridge, I guess, a little bit later on.
Road in Cambridge to through traffic have been held up. A judge has ruled a legal challenge to the decision can proceed to the next stage, but people on Mill Road have mixed feelings about it.
It can be a bit of an issue when you have buses going over it as well.
It's better closed for the private, but probably it's not good for the shops, for people who has business on this Mill Road Street.
It's not really wide enough for cars and bikes and everybody, so I think with the way things are moving these days, I'd probably err on the side of in favour of bikes.
And Ireland have
Reaching 22 minutes past 7 just now is Dottie McLeod with you until Chris Mann o'clock. And controversial plans to close Mill Road Bridge in Cambridge to most through traffic remain uncertain following a legal challenge. The campaign group, the Friends of Mill Road Bridge, are contesting the County Council's decision last year to close the bridge to ordinary traffic. A judge has ruled their case can proceed to the next stage on 5 grounds, including blue badge exemptions. Our reporter Dave Webster is on Mill Road for us this morning. Hi, Dave.
Good morning, Dottie. I'm going to do something in a few moments' time that I don't think has ever been done on BBC Radio Cambridgeshire before. I'm going to walk from one side of Mill Road Bridge to the other. But if you are not a resident of Cambridge, if you have not been down to Mill Road, this is one of those streets that you get that's full, crammed full of independent shops. So, of course, coffee shops dominate this type of area. You've got lots of supermarkets selling food from all around the world, estate agents, chippies, takeaways, charity shops, and a load of mix of other things like florists and bike shops. And that's one of the key drivers for what is proposed to happen here at Mill Road Bridge. I'm just on the corner between Argyle Street, Great Eastern Street and Mill Road. There's the Earl of Beaconsfield with a very stern-looking gentleman, I think, flapping a newspaper about with a beard on the side of the building. Not as busy as it would be around about sort of 8 o'clock, 8:30, but I'm now walking from one side to the other. Big marking saying 20-mile-an-hour zones, and as you go over, there is no overtaking on one side, and It's amazing, even with that 20-mile-an-hour zone, there seems to be very, very few vehicles going along this bridge, along Mill Road, that seem to be sticking to that. Either that, or they go on a very fast 20 mile an hour. You can see the other flip side, because the number of cyclists that seem to just be zipping through the red lights, which can cause frustration to the motor users just overtaking a couple of pedestrians. I feel like Annika Rice, Dottie. You get to the top of Mill Road Bridge and there's a lovely bit of world graffiti. Flags from all over the country, eyes on one side, on the left-hand side. Art seems to be around everywhere. And you just notice that there seems to be a lot of community feel around this bridge. And that is one of the issues that's driving the other side of the argument, where people want to close it. Oh, I'm getting out of breath, if I have to stop. And close it so that it makes Mill Road a much better place for the cyclists, for the pedestrians, and also gives access to those in taxis and buses. Oh, Dottie, I'm coming to the other side. There's some buildings. There's the Mill Road Library that's up for sale. There's a mobile phone shop. There's a barber's. And there's the White Swan. So as you can hear, it is a complete mix, a complete diverse mix of businesses and shops down here. One side say closing it will make it a much better place to be. Others will say it could starve the lifeblood of business and also block an important thoroughfare into the city. Crikey. I think I want to go and have a sit down now.
Yeah, I think if you're doing your best, Annika Rice, you need to loosen the belt of your jumpsuit a little bit, Dave, to free up the breathing. Thank you so much. More from him on Mill Road a little bit later on in the show. It has proved a really controversial topic, these county council plans to close the road to most through traffic at the point of the Mill Road Railway Bridge. Pam Wesson is the chair of the Friends of Mill Road Bridge campaign. Good morning, Pam.
Good morning.
So just to recap where we are, you challenged the council on these plans to close the Mill Road Railway Bridge to most ordinary traffic. You're wanting to take them to court on this to stop it happening. And essentially, a judge has said that, yes, you can, your case can proceed. Is that right? Have I got that right?
That's correct. That was the significance of the findings yesterday.
Okay, so what's the feeling like in your campaign group?
Oh, we're over the moon, really, because we've been belittled, really, since the beginning of this case. Like, we've been treated like annoying little people who are just arguing for the sake of it, and it was just unprecedented that 4 people, none of whom are lawyers, would be able to engage good lawyers and actually get the facts straight and challenge the county. David versus Goliath, it's great.
So you feel this is a victory, or maybe a partial victory, because
Yes,
it's not over and done with, but for people power?
That's correct. It's a partial victory. It is people power for small people versus the big state. And we're very pleased. Thank you.
I mean, how much is it costing you? Like you say, you've had to bring in lawyers to help you out with this. Is this quite a costly thing?
It depends who you are. In the real world, this has not cost that much so far, and luckily, blessedly, people have contributed all the funds necessary at the moment. We don't know what the final figure will be. That will be part of the match that comes up the next time. But people have put their money where their mouth is, and we appreciate it.
And what will happen next? Where do you go from here?
Back to court. This is not the first time. We've been to high court twice already. We didn't have to go this time. This was a remote decision. And we'll be back in person, some months from now. We don't know when yet.
What do you think it was about, particularly the rules surrounding blue badges that caught the judge's attention? Because a lot of space given to the arguments around that in his judgments.
I'd like to say more about that, but I'm as confused about the issue as apparently the county is, because it was contradictory what they said, and we tried to pick it apart like a knot, and it just wouldn't unknot. And that's what the judge reacted to. He said this doesn't quite make sense. So I can't comment on it further. it requires a more technical approach than I can offer you.
How confident are you now that you can stop the closure happening, that you can keep Mill Road Bridge open for all traffic, all road users?
Once again, it's a technical issue. A quash, is at a judge's discretion. The judge may say, we acknowledge all your points and they're legitimate points, but we're not going to quash. Or she can say, yeah, we're going to quash even based on one of these points. All the rest of them are bumps, but boy, you got a good one here, and we're going to quash. So it's not a yes or no answer.
Pam, thank you for your time this morning. Pam Wesson there, the chair of the Friends of Mill Road Bridge, who desperately wants to keep that stretch of road open to cars and vans and lorries, etc. We did ask to speak to somebody from Cambridgeshire County Council about this. They've sent us a statement instead. They say the judge struck out one claim, 2 were abandoned, and the remaining grounds will be considered at a further hearing. We await details from the court as to when this will take place. It wouldn't be appropriate to comment further until this case is determined. We will not carry out any work on Mill Road or enforce the traffic regulation order until the case is fully resolved. We'll be hearing thoughts from Mill Road in the next half hour. I'd like to hear your view. Are you team open? Keep it open, keep cars and lorries chuntering along the entirety of Mill Road? Or do you think, no, the County Council's got this one right, they're on the right side of history, close it, make more space for walkers, for cyclists, etc., and improve the air quality in the area? Where are you on this? Because I know it has provoked some really passionate discussions around Cambridgeshire over the last couple of years. Approaching 10 to 8 this Wednesday morning, the 8th of May. Good morning. Now, campaigners have been given the green light to continue their legal fight against the closure of Mill Road Bridge in Cambridge. County Council plans to shut it to most through traffic to improve air quality and reduce congestion are on hold following this legal challenge. Opponents want it to stay open for public access, and a judge has now ruled their case can carry on. Arguments over the pros and cons of closing the bridge have provoked strong opinions. A little flavour of that in my text machine this morning. Here's Paul texting, yeah, let's close Mill Road, and while we're at it, Newmarket Road, Hills Road, Milton Road, Histon Road, kill everyone's means of earning any money and paying increasing council tax for less and less in return. Have they thought perhaps of a citywide 10 miles per hour speed limit? Be trendsetters like the stupid, dangerous Dutch roundabout. Don't get me started, says Paul. Oh, I think it's too late,
like Paul,
my friends. Our reporter Dave Webster is on Mill Road this morning. Hey, Webbo.
Good morning, Dottie. You might be able to hear it's a little bit busier than it was around about half an hour ago. Welcome back to Mill Road. I'm just on not the city side, but the other side, the far side of the Mill Road Bridge at the moment. And I've been walking in and out of the shops and the places that have been open at this time in the morning, just to give you an idea of the shops that are down. If you haven't been down to Mill Road, there's a really posh chippy just next door, cheek by jowl to an estate agent, right next door to a barber's. On the corner here, there's Tanning World. I've got a coin-operated laundry just across the road.
All of which would be affected by closing the bridge. Keep the bridge open.
Got a couple of charity shops dotted here and there, and a really nice, what seems a really nice sort of an Italian deli just to my left-hand side. But if you look at the road, it doesn't look unlike any other road, I don't think, in the county. There are a hodgepodge of tarmac dressings, there are holes, there are potholes, there are imperfections, there are yellow lines that are faded, there are yellow lines that are new. Cyclists using this morning, along with people driving their cars, delivery drivers and mums and people in prams. I've been into a few, as I say, this morning, and this seems to be, Dottie, what's going on with conversations and debates now worldwide. It seems that if you've got an opinion, it's a polarised one, which means that some people just don't want to say what their opinion is for fear of either upsetting people or angering. So I've been into a bike shop this morning who said, to be honest, I don't really speak out about it, but I don't mind either way. it'll make the road nicer, but it'll mean it's more difficult for me to get in, he said, because there's two sides to every story. And a cafe I went in just said, we're just happy with whatever decision is made. We don't want to upset anyone. But I was here and spoke to a few people using the road yesterday, and here's what they thought.
Absolutely, with the bridge closed to most traffic.
So there we are. That's what BBC Radio Cambridgeshire put out. Oh, that's a fair smattering. I think there's more to come, but my memory card's just about to run out, so here's the end of this particular film. Keep Mill Road Bridge open.